So today I'm gonna try and modify this Acebeam T35. This is gonna be a bit frustrating because I think the bezel is probably glued on really strong. So it's gonna take a bit of effort to try and unscrew the bezel. And then I'm gonna put this emitter on using a hot plate and yeah, soldering. So let's try and remove the bezel. I'll try this clamp, small rig clamp, and I'll also try to use this mouse pad. So this mouse pad is probably not, I mean, if this works, that'd be great, but yeah, I think it's glued in place, so I'm gonna try and heat up the glue a little bit and hopefully not melt everything in the process. So let's give it a go. I'm just gonna change the color temperature of this Acebeam T35 to 3000 Kelvin by putting in a new emitter. That's not very hot. Let's turn it off a bit more, maybe 400 degrees. Some more air. This is just an A10 ST862D. There. Let's see if I can clamp it. No, that's not budging. Oh man. It's gonna take a while. Probably warm enough. This is crazy. What am I gonna use? Alright, that's heating up a bit. Oh. Oh, I think I snapped the glue off the head. Jeez. Oh, yeah. It worked. So that works. Ah, joy. So using a bit of aluminium to wedge between the bezel and a little bit of a heat, 400 degrees Celsius. That has worked great. So we can do something. So I'm going to go ahead and swap the emitter, hopefully. Well, now that that's done, I'll put some proper gloves on. These are nice for heat, but let's use something for all the mess that's about to happen. I just really wanted to modify this torch. Yeah. So it's the Acebeam T35. It's an outdoor tactical type thing. I'm going to try and use it for hunting, but I would like to make the beam a bit warmer. It's just too cool at the moment, or it's like 5,000 Kelvin. So you can check out a full review on my website, timmcmahon.com.au. That's nice. So the glass is kind of stuck in there on the O-ring. It's got a blue anti-reflective coating, I think. Maybe not. Oh, there's something there. That's the bezel. It's a bunch of glue. I'll just leave it. Let's just pop it upside down and hopefully it just pops out. Just like so. I'm hoping that the reflector is... The reflector should be aluminium. Cool. So I don't want to get dust in there, but I'm probably going to get dust in there. The reflector's probably wedged in due to the O-ring around the side. So it's very, very easy to cut an O-ring using tweezers. Just delicately wedge the O-ring out. Oh, okay, just use your fingers. No, nice. There's the O-ring. I'll go on. I'm going to use a hot plate to dump everything onto. Whoop. There we go. So that is the reflector out, and there's a centering gasket and a PCB. The PCB looks a bit small. There's a hot plate. I'll use the smaller one. Cool. Let's get the centering gasket out. Oh, there we go. Oh, that's the centering gasket. Oh, use a clamp. Sorry, that's the T12 soldering iron. Haven't used this one before. A mate gave me this. I've got an old Weller, but the Weller was kind of playing up. The temperature kept on jumping around, so hopefully this one works a bit better. It's a T12. I'm going to add a little bit of solder and just a little bit of solder and flux. Okay, so that's desoldered. Cool. So let's remove the MCPCB. So I'll put the wires up to the edge here. Sorry, I probably need like 3 or 4 cameras to see what's going on. I've just got the overhead. Oh. Oop. Before I make a mess. Just drop it out. That's easier. That's interesting. I don't know why there's a hole there on the shelf. It's probably the driver, but I guess they're cutting the space really, really fine and they had to cut into the shelf, which is a bit strange because there's no functional reason that I can see for a cutout there. They got there's two screw holes as well, but they're not using the screw holes in the shelf. I guess it's not necessary, but yeah, they've got threaded. There's threaded screw holes, which might help, but the PCB or MC PCB, the metal core PCB, doesn't have any holes for screws to hold it in place. Yeah, Joe. So let's clean up. Use some isopropyl alcohol to clean the back of this. Oh, that's not much thermal paste. So let's put more thermal paste on. Clean. What? Cool. I'm gonna see if I can test the LED. I probably can't. Diode test mode. Let's see. Oh yeah, it works. That's cool. I don't know if you can see that. The LED in the middle is off, but yeah, if I press that, it turns on. So that's nice. There's just enough power to turn it on. Clean up this thermal paste a little bit. So this is a Miniware MHP 30 hot plate, and I'll just crank it up to 220. First things first, let's just desolder this one. Can try to swap it over directly. Cool, we'll heat it up. It's connected to a 65 watt power supply, Pine Power desktop. So see how it goes. Let's grab one of these. Nice. Yeah, I was gonna look at try and find the anode on this. I don't know what the edge is. Is there an anode? There is. There's a little marker. It's like a diamond or a triangle. Can we see? It's hard to tell. There's a little triangle on the edge there. Nailed it. Okay. I'll add a little bit of solder paste. Hopefully it likes it. I really hope this is the right orientation. There we go. Got ya. Okay. I'll take this off, let it cool down. Put this over here. Try not to burn my hands. Everyone burns their hands on these things. It's the MHP Miniware hot plate. Joey. I hope this is the right way around. Uh-oh. It's the wrong way around. No. Oh. Sorry. I didn't press diode test mode. My bad. Let's try that again. Yay! It's the right way around. That works. Okay, let's put some thermal paste on the back of this thing. That's probably enough. Ooh. What is the shape of this thing? Just getting thermal paste everywhere. Let's chuck this in. Go ahead and solder the wires back on. Cool. So there's the emitter. So I've got the SFT40 in there. I need to line it up with the reflector. Let's see if this actually lines up. I don't know. There is a centering gasket. I probably should have put that on before I shove this in, but here's a centering gasket. Nailed it. Okay. There's the centering gasket. Cool. So the reflector should ideally just pop in. Cool. Let's pop the, oh, that worked. Flip the lens on. Boom. Lens on. I go ahead and crank it down and see if it compresses. Crank it on there. So here's the aluminium block. I'll go and crank it on there again. That's... I want to crank it on hard enough. It was cranked on pretty tight before. So it's okay. Okay, moment of truth. Let's see if this actually works. I've gone ahead and swapped the emitter. Looks pretty clean. Check a battery in. Let's see if it works. Yay! It works. Okay. Let's... quit. Ah, that's nice. It's great when everything works. I don't have another torch that's broken. So that's working nicely. That's the moonlight, the lowest mode. Ah, nice. Oh, I'm so happy with that. So the reason I swapped this is because I swapped the emitter in the Acebeam T35 because it was a cool white. It was like a 5000 Kelvin, or neutral white if you want to call it that. But this Armitech Predator Pro Warm has like a 4000 Kelvin. So 4000 is pretty good. I wanted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. There we go. So now the one on the right's a little bit more warmer, 3000 Kelvin versus 4000 Kelvin. So these are two, you could use them as hunting torches. So you got the Armitech Predator Pro, which is a tactical slash hunting torch with magnetic charging on the back. It's got a 4000 Kelvin emitter. It's got a smooth reflector. It's got an XHP 35 high, or Cree XHP 35 high emitter there. And this is the Acebeam T35. It's a dual switch. It's got tail switch, side switch, and it has a smooth reflector as well, but it's got an SFT 40 emitter. It comes with a SFT 45,000 Kelvin, or like a 66,000 Kelvin, or 6,500 Kelvin, which is neutral white and cool white, and I wanted a really warm white, so now I just put a warm white emitter in there, so now it's, yeah, nice and warm. Cool, so yeah, that's job done. It worked. So this is pretty tricky to open up. I had to apply some heat. Use the A10, was it 862 heat gun, about 400 degrees Celsius for about a minute, and then use this aluminium block to wedge between here and just crank it and twist it off. So there's glue on the threads here. You can get the Acebeam T35 from acebeam.com if you want. If you want to check out the reviews, I've done some testing of the this coyote, the brown one and the black one. They've got different tints. I actually gave away the black one to a friend. They wanted a recommendation. I'm like, here, have this one. It's awesome. So yeah, these little torches are nice for everyday use and hunting type. So you can mount it if you want with the scope, and just set the back, like set the set the output using the side button, and then you can just use the back button to turn it on and off. The Armitech Pro, it's a similar deal. You can press the back, or you can twist the head slightly, and then you can it's kind of really, it lets you change the output, like main 1, main 2, main 3, and then strobe. So I can have a low output, 2, 3, strobe, or I can tighten it and just get turbo. So it's easy to use, the Armitech Predator Pro, once you know how to use it. Like, it's good. You have to twist that 1/8 of a turn, and then you can control the output. This one's much more intuitive because you got the 2 buttons. You just turn it on, press the side button to change the output. It's simple. So yeah, that's the Acebeam T35.